Welcome to another episode of Mastermind Bites. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Whether it's to add to their exposure or increase their credibility or adding to their multiple streams of income. So for today's Mastermind Bites, I get to feature another amazing person. And the reason why I have this show is because over the last few years, I've been able to meet some amazing individuals, very successful people, and also masters of skill sets. And to be in the presence, to learn from hear their stories, and just absorb that energy and understand why and how they became successful is something I want to share back to my audience and to you as well. And today, I'm very, very happy to be able to feature Ms. Donna Karan, the founder of DKNY, the fashion mogul, the fashion icon, and somebody who's been very, very successful in expanding their brand worldwide and is just a complete legend in the fashion industry. Now, what's actually pretty funny or interesting is the fact that she didn't actually want to be in fashion to begin with. But apparently she was basically born into it. Her father was a tailor. Her mom was also a model. So at a very, very young age, she was already engulfed in that industry. In fact, she wanted to become an artist. She also wanted to become a stay-at-home mom, being in a family where her mom wasn't always there and was always working. She wanted to become that stay-at-home mom. But sometimes life doesn't give you exactly what you plan for. Life happens a certain way. You just have to learn how to adjust and pivot around it. And she certainly did that. She was able to transform her goals and her dreams to incorporate into her goals and dreams of becoming a fashion mogul and a fashion icon. As she was working under her mentor, Anne Klein, she was still having that mindset of becoming that stay-at-home mom and just not completely be immersed in the fashion industry. However, things changed. Anne Klein actually passed away very, very close to the time where she was giving birth to her first child. And Donna Karan at the time was actually in charge of a line that was due at a certain date. And they basically brought all the clothes and all that whole entire line to her place when she was still on mat leave, just to make sure they make that date and get that line out there, which is pretty incredible to kind of reflect on how hardworking she is, how dedicated she is with her work, and also the passion she has to actually produce something that people enjoyed and like, and also to meet deadlines as well. And that's how she went from there and then built her empire in fashion. Now, the thing is, like I said, we sometimes life just happens a certain way and you can't plan for it, and you just have to be able to adapt and adjust. Another thing that I found pretty interesting was the fact that DKNY, which is her big brand, needed to be adjusted at a certain time because she couldn't just call it DK. She needed some balance. I want to add a little twist to it, and that's why she added New York, which is NY. And the reason for that is she wanted her line to be through the eyes of a woman in the streets of New York. And that just gave it enough of a twist, enough of a uniqueness that gave her brand that noticeability for people to want to be engaged with, and also to want to go and buy and be associated with. And that's something we all need to do. What is that special twist? What is that special uniqueness that your brand has, that your company has, that you have, that would actually get more engagement with people, that would get more people to gravitate to you? So I thought that was actually pretty interesting, and so that you're not just like everybody else. Now, there's 5 other things that I thought was pretty interesting with regards to what we can do and what we can learn from Donna Karan to implement into our personal lives and also into our businesses. The very first thing is always think of designing for yourself. The second thing is understanding your skill sets and the roles of yourself and also your team members. Number 3 is inspiration can be found anywhere. Number 4 is understand who you are and be who you are. Don't be anybody else. And number 5 is listen to your audience and without losing a sense of what you represent and who you are. So going back to number 1, that is design for what you want. And that's how her first line became very, very successful, because she was designing something that she wanted. She designed something that she and her friends actually was looking for, which at the time wasn't available. And that was the essentials line, the 7-piece mix and match, where it could be mix and match for many different types of outfits, and then also is suitable for moms and working moms and people who needs to do many different roles to have an outfit for, and you only needed those 7 pieces. And once she designed that, that was exactly what she wanted and exactly what her friends wanted. And sure enough, because they actually wanted it, there was a lot of other women who actually wanted the same thing. They were looking exactly for that type of product. And that's why if you design for yourself, sure enough, there are other people out there who want the same thing. If you design something that you wanted before you became successful, or you design or you produce something or created courses that you yourself would have bought back when you were learning about all that stuff or learning about business and all that kind of stuff, then people who have the same backgrounds as you would actually gravitate to the same thing. So always think about designing for yourself first, making yourself something that you would actually follow and you would actually enjoy. And sure enough, people would actually gravitate to that product or that service. Number 2 was understanding the roles and skill sets of yourself and also your team members. She is somebody who is very skilled in decorating. She's an artist, and her husband, her partner, is actually a house builder. So when it came to designing their house and building their house, they have very, very strict rules so that they won't cross each other's lines. And that is, she handles all the decorations, whereas her husband and spouse would actually, and her partner would design the entire house and build the house and make sure that they won't cross paths. So be sure to understand what your skill sets are, what your members' skill sets are, and let them run with it, where you will take care of your role and your skill sets and apply your skill sets to maximize the results and the productivity of that either event or that product or that service. So understanding where everybody's skills are and where everybody's weaknesses are will allow you to have maximum efficiency and also production as well. Number 3 is inspiration. People ask her, where did her inspiration come from? And she goes, the world. You just have to be able to accept and listen and absorb the culture, the nature, and listen and see. It's not just about you. Because the thing is, if you keep on thinking about yourself, then you don't let inspiration come into you. You have to be open, accept things to come in, and just watch and listen and smell and touch and see what happens in nature and see what happens in different cultures. And how do you apply those different things into your business, into your products, into your services? In fact, she's gotten lots of inspiration from nature that you can see reflected into her clothing line. Also, when she travels around the world, she gets inspirations from different cultures, which she also incorporates into her clothing line as well. So let the world inspire you. Let nature inspire you so that you can come up with more creativity and more ideas and inspiration as well. Number 4 is be who you are. Don't go out there and try being somebody else, because one, it's already taken. And we've heard this many, many times before. But the thing that she did say that was kind of a little bit different was the fact that those people that you want to be, those people that you want to become, have them be your inspiration. Have them be that role model. Have them be that person that you strive to challenge yourself to become more and more successful. Have those people be your mentors, be your coaches, so that you can take their guidance and just kind of expand on what you're good at and who you are. So never forget who you are. Just be who you are and expand on that. And because, like I said, everybody else is taken. Be who you are and be true to yourself. And the last thing that I thought was really good for applying to your business and your personal is, at a certain point in time, you will still need to listen to your audience, because as much as you are designing for yourself, you're creating products for yourself, there's a pure time where you need to start listening to what your audience wants, and you kind of have to give them what they want as well, but not lose sight of who you are and what your brand and what your mission and what your values are. So for instance, there came a time where her brand got bigger and bigger and bigger. So what's the next step for them? And it was suggested that she needs to go into fragrances. Now, that was something that's not really in her DNA, and that's something that she wanted to create, but there was more and more demand, there was more and more ask for it. So she decided to, okay, fine, I'll listen to the audience, we'll create that fragrance, which she did. And then the kind of process on fragrances is that after you have the fragrance, then you take the fragrance and you add it to shampoo and you add it to soaps, you add it to a whole bunch of other stuff. And at that point, she goes, I don't want that. I don't want them to have my fragrance integrated into so many different products. She wanted to be unique. She didn't want it on people's bodies. So therefore, she goes, okay, because people want the soaps and the shampoos, I'll create a different fragrance, a different line of all this other stuff, which became great. Like it got great acceptability. Lots of people wanted it and became one of the best sellers with regards to the industry of soaps and shampoos. And also her fragrance became very, very popular as well. So those are the 5 things I thought was very interesting and very important to business success and entrepreneurship. So once again, those were number 1, design for yourself. Number 2, understand your skill sets and the roles of your team members as well. Number 3, let the world inspire you. Number 4, be who you are. And number 5, sometimes you have to start listening to your audience and your clientele, but at the same time, not lose track of what you want and what your message and your values are. So those are the lessons learned from Ms. Donna Karan, and I had a great time just listening to her, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please go back to some of my other episodes where I feature some amazing people. And if you like this, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And always, I love seeing your comments. And if you like this show, we have the Peak Potential Success Show as well, and the Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More Work Less, and of course, the Make More Mind Bites that's updated each and every single week. So until next time, today is the day to unlock your potential. We'll see you later.